tonight on River City News, channel 1476321 on your Cable 1 network. We will be exploring our education system and answering questions like, what does an effective teacher in the 21st century look like? I warn you, however, it is graphic and disturbing at times, and please use your best judgment with children in the room. I turn it over to Kelly Norman, who's been in the field and compiling some great footage on this matter. And again, children, please leave the room. To you, Kelly.
Thank you, Rock. I'm here outside of Ashland Elementary School, and we are going to be doing an interview and observing Mrs. Green's classroom. Now, parents, I have to warn you, this is what Rock warned you about. This would be a good time for your children to leave the room.
All right, class, here's your packets. Get to work. I'm not feeling very well today, so please just be busy. You need to have it turned in by the lunch bell. Thanks.
Hey, quit cheating! Quit cheating on me! Quit cheating!
Cooper, get in your seat! Cooper, are you texting in class? Put that away before I take it.
Who do you think you are?
Give me the cell phone.
No.
Go to the office right now.
No.
Go to the office right now. Put your cell phone away and work on your packet. I said now.
I know what you said.
Cooper, get in your seat! Now, Cooper! Do I have to pick you up and put you there? Cooper! Cooper!
Hey, what's up? Yeah.
Give me that phone. Work on your packet.
No, you did. Dude, you trying to cheat?
Do not hit other students!
And as you can see, we have decided not to bring you all the footage from Miss Green's classroom. It only got worse from there. Today I'm outside of Greenfield Elementary School, and I'm going to be doing interviews on a teacher today that I had the privilege of meeting. Mrs. Miller has been Teacher of the Year 4 years consecutively. I think you're going to be very impressed with the way she teaches her class and handles her children.
Good morning, Cameron. Good morning, Oz. Good morning, Benjamin.
Morning.
Good morning, Cooper. How is everybody this morning?
Great.
Good. All right, so last night, as y'all remember, we had times tables. Our worksheet was on 11s. Cameron, can you tell me what 11 times 8 is?
88.
88, all right. What about anybody know what 11 times 2 is? Oh, Cooper, do you know? Oh, you forget your answer? Maybe Alex can answer. What's 11 times 2?
It's 22, Miss Miller.
Awesome, very good job.
Miss Miller, thank you so much for taking the time out of your
No
busy
problem.
day to talk to us and share your secrets with us. As I look around your classroom, I can't help but notice that you have a very diverse classroom.
Mm-hmm.
How does that affect your daily teaching? How do you deal with the diversity that you have?
Yes, my classroom is very diverse indeed, but I really think that diversity is such a beautiful thing, and I think it really should be embraced in the classroom. Like, as you can see, we have different races, different genders, different socioeconomic backgrounds, and each student has different interests and needs. And so as a teacher, I personally get to know each of them on a personal level, so that way I can know how they learn best so that I can cater my teaching to their wants and needs, and that way I'm just helping them along in their process of learning.
Can you think of any examples that you've had to use to help any students in particular that you wouldn't have to use with other students?
Yes, absolutely. Cooper, one of my students, he's a little more challenging for me. Sometimes it's hard for me to get him to even stay at his seat and be on task. And, you know, I know that he's learning because he performs well on the test, but sometimes just in the daily classroom life it's hard. But I found the incentives, such as like slipping a treat under his paper, really keeps him on task. Cooper, you've done 1 and 2, but can you do 3 and 4 for me? Cooper, can you do 3 and 4? All right, keep on working on that. All right, good job.
Here, and we're finishing wrapping up our series on effective teaching for the 21st century. And Ms. Miller, thank you so much for coming to the studio. I think one of the first questions that I really have for you is, what do you think your role as an effective teacher is?
I think my role is ultimately to just love my students. I think as a teacher, if you love your students, everything else will follow, and just care for them, you know, and provide what they need to learn and just encourage them, because ultimately it is up to the students whether or not they learn. You are just that person building them up and giving them the materials they need.
Okay. What kind of a classroom environment do you find to be the most effective?
Definitely warm, safe, happy environment is most important. The student needs to come in each day and know that they're safe and that they're welcome there. I try to greet my students every morning and just let them know I'm happy that they're there. Because honestly, you don't know the kind of background that those students are coming from, and you need to make sure that your classroom is a place that they feel safe and comfortable and that it's geared for learning.
Well, I definitely felt that in your classroom. It definitely has a very warm and homey feeling, and the students seemed very comfortable in it. What do you think are some of the best teaching methods?
The best teaching methods, in my opinion, are to present the curriculum by a lecture or a lesson while still moving around and being engaging, actively involving the students by asking them questions and having them participate in your lesson, so it's not just to stand up there and lecture to them, as well as planning an activity after that lesson so that they can apply what they had just learned.
Great. It's been very educational visiting your classroom, and we really appreciate you taking the time. Thank you so much. Now, Rock, back to you.
Thank you, Kelly, for that very interesting report. What did you feel was the most interesting part of it for you?
Well, I think what I was the most surprised to find out is the amount of freedom that teachers have to deliver the curriculum however they see fit to the students, and the many different styles of teaching. As you can see, in one classroom, packets were just handed out with no lessons, and it didn't appear the children were engaged, nor were they learning. And when you go into a classroom where the teacher gets the information and teaches it to the students, lets them practice it, and then make sure that everyone has mastered it, that seems to be a much more effective way of teaching. And I am so glad that I had the opportunity to do this report, and thank you, Rock.
It was my pleasure. Signing out now from Riverside News, channel 1765421.